Do it, Mountain Dew.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the Crazy Town Podcast lair. And it's been a long time.
It's a new lair.
It's a new lair. We're set up for, the COVID world, and it's great to be together.
Physically distanced. I
Yeah.
still have to look at your ugly mug, but at a greater distance than in the past.
We're hoping the sound quality is decent.
Yeah, the garage door is open. It's for
Sunny.
December in Oregon. This is pretty sweet right now.
Pretty sweat.
People may hear some airplane buzzing noises.
Yeah.
All the protesters that hate our guts.
Yeah.
We've got them, fenced off, but you might hear some.
I also, the thing that's most loud about this greenhouse is there's a tree frog living in it. And
Wow.
every once in a while, it'll just go off, and it's raucous. So I'm hoping that happens at some point.
Wasn't there
if
a
you
problem?
say something funny, then maybe it will.
Doesn't seem to respond to me.
We should get coquis in here, right? That's that Puerto Rican frog that's invasive in Hawaii. They're like keeping people up at night, becoming a huge problem.
I don't think the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife would appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm not sure the frog would appreciate it either. This climate.
Kind of cold. But anyway, what I wanted to do is we got to gather together and we got to think about season 3. And it's been a while. We haven't been together, for podcasting since the early summer.
Well, first thing we got to do is rename it because nothing crazy happened last year. So I don't think Crazy Town is appropriate anymore. Why don't we just name it Happy Fun Times?
Yeah, I think that's...
I thought you were going to say we have to rename it because the town's already burned down.
Right.
There's nothing left.
We have to name it... Oh, fuck.
The crazy shell of humanity.
That's the new name of our show. Oh, fuck.
Well, typically we want to get 15 shows out or so, and we want to kind of create a theme or a season arc of some kind. What is there to talk about? What is there we should talk about?
Well, I was thinking about this. It seems like everyone is, at least the people that I know and the stuff that I read, is just sort of like looking at the period that we've been in as this horrific, nightmarish kind of blip, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the pandemic blip,
Yep.
and then we've got the hopefully slightly longer, Trump blip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
Wait. Are you saying slightly longer because you're hoping he'll just hang on to power?
what I'm saying is that I'm hoping it's only slightly longer
Than the pandemic.
Okay.
And because I don't want the pandemic to last
Yeah.
4 years.
Right.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So
and I
starting
also
at
don't want
26.
him to last for however long.
Yeah.
My point is,
Yeah.
it seems like so much energies about, what a crazy year 2020 was. And, what a crazy, presidential term we had. Let's get back to sort of normal. And, can we have adults in the room? And can we, just...
Well, that was a lot of what our episodes were like towards the end of last season, was also like this push for normalcy again, right? Getting back to normal.
Right.
And the nuttiness of trying to do that in the pandemic.
Yeah, I feel like people are completely, totally there. And...
And see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We
so to
do
speak,
have
right?
a light at the end of the tunnel now, but hey, hello. These things, Trump and the pandemic, these are not anomalous blips. They come from something, and the underlying conditions, they haven't changed, right?
Oh, and what's
Sorry to be a bummer, but
well, and it's what's interesting is like what I think we're realizing about who people are, what people are capable of, how different, people are from each other and their belief systems, and how the stresses of the times can lead people down different rabbit holes or whatever. And it's somewhat shocking, right? Like, what it reminds me of? The whole shitstorm reminds me a bit of this famous sci-fi movie called, I think it's called Forbidden Planet. Do you remember that one?
No.
Well, the Forbidden Planet was this place where they would go to the rocket ships would go, and they would just, for some reason, every expedition would just disappear, and no one understood why, right? Like,
and
why?
so they just kept sending them anyway.
They sent another one, and they wouldn't come back. But this advanced civilization had created this technology that could basically, it was like considered the perfect technology. It could read your mind, and then manifest whatever was on your mind, and so. It was always this idea that, great, we're smart, we have good intentions, and now we created something where we can just manifest our good intentions. But what was leading to the die-off was that there was always something deeper. There was something back there, and the machine could read like your unconscious, your subconscious, and so monsters would just come out and just slaughter everybody. Right? It was the idea, and that's what I sort of feel is like where we've come as a species in a sense, right? Like,
we're letting our inner monsters out, is what you're saying.
We're not even aware that we have these, maybe, right? And when we think we've got these great technologies and we're an amazing civilization, but maybe it's more like we're like the forbidden planet.
So what we really need to do is unpack these things that are still there, these underlying causes. Is that what I'm hearing from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's kind of maybe you're saying the sort of the monsters that are lurking that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what are some of these drivers, that have brought us to the crazy moment that we've been experiencing, and some of them are maybe obvious to some of us, and some of them maybe aren't. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's refreshing maybe to talk about something besides Trump, besides COVID-19, besides like cooking, or what,
We talking about cooking?
Well, I'm just saying like the culture, right? We've been talking about, the social justice
the
issues.
Kardashians' butts.
Right. I mean, and so it's almost like we've been just overwhelmed with just these narrow view and this narrow topics, like this have sucked us. And there's more.
So if we go back and we look at what's driving the world towards crazy town, and we look at something hidden, where are we going to look? Like my first thought from what you're talking about, Forbidden Planet, is we got to look at ourselves, at what's messed up with human behavior.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, you were an economics major, right? You wrote a great book about it, Enough is Enough, blah, blah, blah. But 5-star. But
buy it now. Buy as many copies as you can.
Yes, exactly. Handed out in airports. So
makes great bonfires.
But yeah, I'm thinking like, there's all these cognitive biases we have. We're not rational beings. Like the talk about economics is assuming like the rational actor thing, right? Homo economist, right?
Right.
That's bullshit.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot there that we can unpack. Probably
everyone is irrational except me. I mean, that's clear.
Right. So how's that led us to where we are? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think it'd be interesting to look at some of our social systems and the structures that we have set up that maybe we take for granted or we're not aware of in terms of like how they manipulate our behavior or create certain conditions for how we act.
Right.
And some of that it gets to the behavior between us as people, but some of them might even be things like within the economic system,
or politics, or these bigger structures that sometimes we don't even know they're acting on us,
right?
And we structure our whole lives because that's the way society is set up, and we hardly ever question that stuff. It's like the fish in water doesn't know it's swimming in water,
right? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I would definitely like to get at some of that, but that got me thinking even more broadly, like besides our own stuff in our own minds and our societies, there's ways that the world works, the physics, the ecology of the environment we inhabit. And I think a lot of the rules that make up those systems are also hidden from our view, but have because that's the way things work. And the interaction that people have with that, we've gotten pushed into crazy town, and we're operating it all wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't we do that?
Well, that sounds like an easy. It's easy.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah. We'll just bang these out.
Boom. Yeah. I mean, listeners, really, this is so easy for us to do. We put very little into this show, and you can tell.
So Jason has just described his preparatory process for these podcasts. In fact, earlier today I heard him say, "I'm not giving a grad dissertation, it's a podcast." So you get what you pay for here, folks.
Yeah, donate.
Wow, has that ever worked as a donation? You just yell "donate" into a microphone?
You set expectations really low.
Yeah.
promise to deliver very little,
Yeah.
and then you ask for
money.
For money.
Sure.
That's a great strategy, Jason.
I should be the development director.
I mean, this is how people, every commercial I see, that's exactly the premise of the commercial.
Yeah.
Here's our crappy, shitty product.
Right.
Buy it now.
Buy it now.
Okay, I'm going to counter that just for a second because I'm pretty excited about this. See, this whole idea of finding hidden drivers or core reasons why we're in Crazy Town and then figuring out how we might do something different. That's, to me, an exciting topic.
You have to be aware first, right? You have to become aware before you can maybe change. Is there some probably truism there, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah. And
Pop psychology thing.
can I challenge us a little bit? So maybe what we could do is think about ones that are like really fundamental and important, right?
Yeah.
To explore. But maybe we can also explore some that are a little off the beaten path. Maybe they're not like the biggest, most important driver, what brought us here, but they're kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Quirky. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that. And of course, a big motivation for me doing this is just having fun with you guys too. So I think we gotta.
That's not my motivation.
Yeah, well, it's
I
only
suffer
mine.
through it.
Yeah, you put up with it, right? You tolerate it. It's like having a bowel disease. You can handle it, but
Of course, you had to go there, man.
Oh, Jesus.
That's our podcast.
I thought we got rid of that after season 2.
Some things never change.
No.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, folks, you know what you're in for if you stick around for another season of Crazy Town.
Yeah, and when should we let people know when to expect something from us to drop?
Yeah, look for us in March 2021.
Yeah, hopefully we'll still be around.
Yeah, I hope to make it that long.
Knock on wood.